Thanks to all of you for being here on relatively short notice. You bring, in various ways, a wealth of experience and information. So, Ms. Sloan, we'll begin with you. Your organization has one of the best acronyms in Washington. CREW, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. I know you've worked together with a number of other public interest groups that advocate legislation to deal with this insider trading problem. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chairman Lieberman, Ranking Member Collins, and other members of the committee. Thank you for inviting me here today to join such a distinguished panel. So no disrespect to any of you intended personally, but the fact is America doesn't trust you. A full 46% of Americans believe Congress is corrupt. Stories like the one on 60 Minutes a few weeks ago become such big news because they confirm what so many people already believe, that many of your colleagues use their positions not for the public good, but to feather their own nests. My organization, CREW, has focused on misconduct of members of Congress for many years. We've seen and complained of numerous legislators abusing their positions to earmark projects to increase the value of their personal real estate holdings, buy into companies that soon thereafter surged in value, urging agencies to take actions to financially benefit themselves or family members, and pushing through legislation in apparent exchange for campaign contributions, and finally even trading on inside information. As others have said, at no time in history has the public's view of Congress been quite so dismal. The jobless rate is sky high, and a wide swath of the country is suffering severe economic hardship, but members of Congress have never been richer. 66% of senators and 41% of House members are millionaires. Members have significant stock portfolios, but only some maintain their assets in blind trusts. Whether or not it's accurate, there's a widespread public perception that members of Congress are abusing their positions to enhance their personal wealth. Members are also willing to accept benefits like generous pensions and health care coverage that most Americans only dream about, while at the same time, Congress exempts itself from laws like those governing whistleblower protections, workplace safety, and perhaps insider trading that are applied to everybody else. Notably, presidential appointees requiring Senate confirmation often have been required by the Senate to divest themselves of interests in companies they will oversee as part of the executive branch, but senators are under no such restrictions. For example, the Washington Post found between 2004 and 2009, 19 of the 28 senators on the Armed Services Committee held assets in companies that did business with the Pentagon. The Senate has refused to require senators to file campaign finance reports electronically, all the better to stop the media and watchdogs from comparing campaign contributions with legislative actions. And Congress, particularly the House Counsel's Office, has been advancing of the speech or debate clause that allows members who've engaged in serious crimes like bribery to go unpunished. Congress frequently refuses to enforce even its own limited ethics rules, failing to police the conduct of members except when it is so egregious it becomes fodder for sensational wall-to-wall 24-hour news coverage. I'm not an expert on securities law, so I will leave it to all these other esteemed panelists who are leaders in this field to discuss whether and to what extent insider trading laws already on the books apply to you. But given that there has been no prosecution of a member of Congress for insider trading, and only one member of the House, way back in 1976, has ever been disciplined for any even remotely related conduct, it's imperative that Congress pass a Stock Act soon. Members of Congress need to demonstrate to America that you take our concerns about your ethics seriously. Undoubtedly, there are cases in which the speech or debate clause of the Constitution might prevent a prosecution, such as where a member traded on confidential information received pursuant to a committee inquiry. As a result, not only should the Stock Act provide a role for the SEC and the Department of Justice in addressing such conduct, but the House and Senate should also amend their standing rules to make clear that such conduct is prohibited and subject to specific disciplinary action, perhaps including a financial penalty of 3 times the amount of a profit obtained or loss avoided. Disclosures of trades also must be a key component of any legislation. The 90 days permitted under the bills that we've seen is far too long and should be cut back dramatically. After all, electronic confirmations of trades are often instantaneous, making such significant time delays unnecessary. Members of Congress should post information about trades in electronic searchable database. Further, as with personal financial disclosure reports, the willful failure to disclose such information should be punishable under the False Statements Act. The bottom line is that Americans are becoming increasingly frustrated with a Congress viewed as part of the 1%, more concerned with preserving that status than in working to improve the standard of living of the remaining 99%. Passing a Stock Act would be a good first step toward changing that image. Thank you.